Video thing. Oh man, I think the video thing isn't started. Hey there, everyone. This is Patapon Saucepans. Y'all know who I am. And I guess it's hard to believe, but we're actually having one of these on time on the Sunday. I know, right? So let's just go ahead and get us started then. Hey there, y'alls, and y'all folks and Volkswagens. Hi. Meatball Rider. Okay, I anticipated the cat choice. I'm pretty good at predicting feline choices. To be fair, predicting that I take the feline choice isn't exactly the hardest thing in the universe. This is a song called Hey Girl, You Like Rising Crust Pizza. Sounds like a very useful phrase to learn. Let's open it up. Flaming us, hey guy, yeah, like it's as advertised, man. And it uses anime as the background. I like to position like this. Hello world. Wait, what's this? Oh yeah, it's because this records in stereo. Why did I find that confusing? I'm not sure, but you know, hi. Who am I? My hero? I don't really have a hero, like a specific hero. I'm not going to elaborate on that because that's just a thing I've struggled for the entirety of my life. 2. How much would you pay for the power to know the name and artist of any song you've heard? Not particularly a lot. It doesn't seem like a very that useful skill. Like maybe, you know, $5 maybe. 3. If by mysterious artifice you gain superpower based on one classic arcade game of your choice, what arcade game would you choose and how do you imagine they manifest themselves? I mean, the power of Pac-Man to just being able to eat whatever forever and then not changing your shape would be pretty cool just on a pure hedonism level. But I'm gonna go with the power of Dig Dug because I get this cool pump that I can use to field a whole bunch of people full of air, and that's pretty nice. But more importantly, I get to more or less walk on air, I guess, because in the game, it's never exactly clear if it's 2-dimensional or 3. 4. What is the most powerful mythological creature you would eat? I want to know how much meat there is in a beholder. Like, looking at a beholder scientifically, considering that an eyeball needs to be round, like needs to be spherical, there's actually not a whole lot left for organs and stuff in a beholder. They don't make a whole lot of sense. I am expecting more biological verisimilitude from my monster Gainax. 5. A powerful wizard prepares to prank, however, the wizard trips on a rock, causing the pranks to go awry. Awry? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I know what it means, I just never heard it spoken, only ever seen it written. Awry. You are sent to a world much like our own, except this world is perpetually 90s as all heck. What do you do in this radical new world? Well, I mean, I'm gonna keep living as normal, except for once I'm gonna feel like I like, you know, like I belong forever and ever. Alright. Well, except 90s had, like, wasn't the 90s one of the period of time where there was the most gun violence? So in the end, I probably just kind of stay holed up for safety. How exciting! 6. What is your expiration date? In 100 years. Turns out, unless I have an accident, I'll be the most longest living human on Earth. Who would have guessed that the trick to near immortality is to sit down and play video games for the internet a whole lot? The world is full of surprises. Belmore! Hello, Raocow. Halloween over. Time for a beautiful song. Well, it better be the most beautiful song I've ever let my eyes on. Tuomas Holopanen Lifetime of Adventure official video. Alright. Oh, Nightwish! Okay. Solo project. I wasn't aware of that somehow. So much information being force-fed into my headspace. When was the last time you baked something, and what was it? Written while enjoying a homemade punch roll. That's a mighty good question. It was probably like 3 weeks ago. I made myself some corn dogs. I mean that counts. That's the latest thing I've baked that I used. No wait. I cooked a store brand pizza like last week, and that's using the oven, so that's what would count. It was good. Like, it's not as good as a fresh pizza or pizza from that novelty store where they set it up, but then you with fresh ingredients, then cook it at your house like once you get back. But I mean, you know, it's a lazy lunchtime that sometimes I enjoy. You are creating a powerful wizard. Oh man, now that's what I call an activity. What is your one unique thing? Your one unique thing is an unusual trait that sets your character apart from every other hero. It's not supposed to be a combat power. You have plenty of those. Example, I am the oldest elf in the world, or I see dead people. I see people as machinery. I cannot distinguish machinery from the living. They are all just one of the same and equal of value. Instead of individual skills, you have backgrounds, which are broad categories of experience. Allocate 8 points to 2 or 3 backgrounds, max 5 points to a single background. Example, Magical Prodigy, Hedge Wizard, City Guard, Magicop, Transformed Familiar. Actually, I think it'd be pretty rad if that happened, because, you know, I've got like 5 points and I used to be just like a magical wizard artifact that was brought to full satience and sapience through some sort of unpredictable magical act. It just kind of happened. Well, I guess maybe not just one day, but you know. And I'll also add alchemist store owner. That's my other 3 leftover. So yeah, you know, once I got brought to life, of course, the rational thing to do is to make potions and sell them for profit. That's what any animated lamp would think of naturally. Let's say you pick the wizard talent Vance's polysyllabic verbalizations. You can okay, let's say you pick the wizard talent that, yeah. Can you come up with an over-the-top name for Fireball, or several name? Sort of like Orbing Super Death Sphere of Red? I mean, I think that's a pretty cool name. Several names. To use this talent, you must proclaim the spell's full name loud and proud. What do you get for your trouble? Well, you can't be sure. Your GM will add some small bonus effect that fits the spell or fits the way you enunciate its name this time around. Whatever the GM chooses should add to the storytelling power of the situation. In most cases, the bonus effect won't precisely match up what the spell normally accomplishes. Example name for the Fireball spell, Rodrigo's Scintillating Plasms. So what would happen with my Orbing Sphere of Death Red? I'm kind of curious what kind of bonus that would get. RPG of the Week is 13th Age, a D20 game designed to be familiar to indie players, but blended with a more narrativistic sensibility. Skills are freeform, for example, and it's designed to encourage spur-of-the-moment improvisation, with monsters being fairly easy to create quickly, and several mechanics encouraging spontaneity from both the player and the GM. This actually sounds pretty freaking rad. Like, honestly, if this is what character creation is, I think this is probably one of my favorite theoretical roleplay games yet. Like, this sounds pretty rad. I wish, I don't know, like, of all the games you've presented, this is the first one that makes me go, man, I wish I knew someone who would be running that kind of game, because I kind of want to get in on it, you know? Ah, man, that sounds really cool. If playing it is basically like that, except also you got other idiots basically doing the same thing at the same time. Man, but this kind of game though, like, requires a really good DM, I have to imagine, because you can't really predict anything, can't you? Be kamikaze. I don't know. I swear like every second word. But for some reason, hearing you swear just makes me a little uneasy. It's like hearing your grandma swear. It's a weird feeling. Various onomatopoeia of a duck. Okay, we're gonna get some duck sounds. In YouTube video format, finally. Whoa, was an old man there. Aquazones Star Fox 64 accordion cover. I mean, that's not a real duck. Accordions are barely ducks. Unless it's gonna start soon. Now that Spookleween is over, are there any custom/celebrations you know of in other countries that you don't really understand? Personally, I've never completely understood that one in Spain where they just go around throwing tomatoes everywhere. The whole running of the bull is what I don't understand. Like, putting people into genuine peril all across the city. It's like, yo, check it out. And then you just kill the bull because, you know, like, what are you doing? What's your favorite vegetable? Probably the cucumber. What did you have for lunch today? Or if you're recording this pre-lunch, what was your breakfast? For lunch, I've had pancakes drenched in maple syrup with boiled sausage and oranges. It was a very fulling lunch. But I'm just back from, you know, receiving the hours, so I was particularly hungry. When do you think that the Mushroom Kingdom... Why do you think that the Mushroom Kingdom exiled all the Yoshis into one island where they can fester in their own filth? The way I understand it is not that they're necessarily all sequestered there, but rather that's basically just where they come from, and most of them are not really interested in, you know, moving over. But ever since the island was discovered in Super Mario World, there have been Yoshi sightings all over the Mushroom Kingdom since then. Not a whole lot, because most of them are content living in their home country. But, you know, some of them, they want to enlarge their environment, so to speak. What is your opinion on Bowser's political campaign? Does he have enough votership to dethrone Princess Peach's tyranny and establish a functioning democracy? Sadly, it's the reality is that the way that the elections are set up in the Mushroom Kingdom makes it extremely difficult for, you know, any other hopefuls to be able to, you know, get enough votes in due to the way the laws are set up. Like, it's just like, it's kind of disproportional, and, you know, like, all the way, like, no, gerrymandering, you know what that is. Well, I mean, like, that was basically invented by the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, you know, the pretty bad when they go ahead and, you know, the ruler does not go by the term of president, but princess or king. Like, that is the most telling of things, to be perfectly honest. Nickelfire! Yo, 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 riggedy row row cow. I just thought of that opener and I regret it, but I don't care enough to not use it. Well, it's fun to say if there's anything. There's music, an instrumental piece from the same album as Billmore's music requestee. And you were using a cute word, but then when I was kind of like pre-reading, as we all do when we read, whether we want to or not, I thought it was like registry. Tuomas, oh yeah, Tuomas Hello Painin again. Do and Cloudscape. While we got some Donald Duck going on there. Maybe it's from DuckTales, but it looks like old Donnie Duck. Oh, okay, no, there's more text to read about this. Also take this opportunity to recommend Don Rosa's The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck comic book to everyone. It's pretty good. So yeah, it's DuckTales. That's fine. They're all ducks. No one wears pants. Oh yeah, and congrats on beating Mischief Makers, probably. I beat the game. The harder bosses were not at the end, except possibly for Mercus, for like Phoenix, Gamma. But Lunar Alpha was by far the hardest, like, battle type game golden thing to get. Wow, I sure am good in putting my ideas and thoughts into order. Questions! Have you ever been prank called? Yes. When I lived in college years, you know, people would call other places, like at 4 a.m. I'd receive a call and someone would be playing a recording of like that guy that shouts at the recruits in the Metal Jacket movie. That was weird. Since that day, I never picked up the phone, and I lived happily ever after. 2, what's the strangest thing you've eaten? Chocolate ants, probably? 3, what is your favorite season? Autumn, the one we're in right now. It is by far the most beautiful. There's a lot of nice rain. It's like cold, but not cold. It's just put a jacket cold. It's great. It's the best. Better than spring because it tends to keep snowing a little bit in early spring, and that kind of ruins it. 4, how many times can I mention MS33K before it becomes annoying? I'm just annoyed because it's unnatural to say out loud, but otherwise I haven't started to really mind yet. 5, do we live in a post-truth age? Wow, that's a bit deeper than I was expecting. Considering the state of the news in the US of A, though, yeah, people are more interested in factoids that ascribe to their point of view than the actual truth. So, as that kind of thought gains traction, really helped by, you know, the bubble that creates around people using the internet, we're getting there. 6, please describe Lumberjack Day. It's the day where everyone jacks their lumber, like it says so right in the name. 7, a powerful mind taker switches your mind with some random person. What are the best and worst case scenarios? P.S. Wearing shirt is a crotch. I meant crutch! Darn you! A random person. I mean, the best case scenario is obviously like turning into a rich person of high renown, then I can just kind of comfortably keep doing LPs for the rest of my life, living on my savings, and I could shut down the Patreon so people wouldn't need to feel like they need to give me money so that I can keep doing it. That would be the best scenario. Worst case scenario, switching mind with someone who is currently in the process of falling off a building. Probably. Filthy Pot! You're here. How's things are going anyways with your mother? Like, that's been a while, but it was a big thing while it was going. Not the future! Extended lyric video. Alright, bad lip reading? Extended version of the song featured in Empire Strikes Back, bad lip reading. I don't know what's going on here. Don't want to know. Maybe it's redubbing? I don't know! 1. If you could switch lives with one superhero for a day, who would it be? You would get all of their abilities, equipment, and responsibilities in both their costume and secret identities for one day, while they would have to record and edit your Let's Play videos, participate in your regular activities such as socializing in RPGs, and perform any other jobs, chores, or tasks you normally do. I would go with One Punch Man because, I mean, I could basically laze off for the day, and I trust Saitama with the duties of doing a LP video for a day. He's chill enough to pull something decent, I believe. I have a lot of trust for that fictional character. 2. Have you played D&D or Pathfinder as opposed to just Cortex over the internet? If so, what programs have you used and how did it work out? It's something I keep thinking about doing with my friends, but I can't figure out an arrangement that works for everyone. D&D Pathfinder seems to be like they'd be harder to manage than, say, Cortex or Dungeon World, because they're more focused around tactical combat, moving around a game board, and overall more rules-based than more free-form RPGs. Well, I am playing Pathfinder with the group, and we're just using Skype and, you know, the quote-unquote theater of the mind, and it works for the most part pretty well. Like, yeah, that implies fudging a little bit of the numbers and whatnot, but for the most part, that's fine, that's okay. You can't even tell. I'm also playing D&D 5 with another group. In that group, we used the website roll20.net. Where you can actually put down maps on a grid and stuff, and the site itself also takes care of die roll, which you can make public. So, I mean, that's probably what I would suggest if you want to play with tactical map-based shenanigans. It's very easy to use, and there's a very clear tutorial the first time you log in, if you so desire. Roll20.net. I'm gonna type it here on the screen. Roll20.net. Just go there, and it looks like a website. On that note, have you ever GM'd in an RPG? My only direct experience with RPGs was GMing a Pathfinder campaign for a few months when I lived in a dorm, and while it was fun, all the work and preparation made it a chore. I'd much rather just be a player, but the problem is that, as the most knowledgeable about RPGs amongst my friends, I end up as a GM by default. Thanks! Well, yes. So in Cortex, whenever Horikawa is not able to prepare for a run, or she's not available or something, but as a joke, we rolled up Maid's RPG characters, and I'm the one that DMs that. However, over time, Maid's RPG system is garbage and terrible, so we have been basically homebrewing it and altering it more and more, to the point that at this point it is basically unrecognizable as the same game. Me and AOD on like when we just speak, talk, personally, we refer to the alternate version as Maid Plus, and yeah, we're still tinkering it to make it different, because I want to remove all math from it. So I'm been slowly working towards that. It's fun, but like it's kind of cheating because it's extremely absurdly freeform. With more like sandbox type things to solve, and I rely more on logical consequences in role-playing than actually following any kind of rules. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Man, speaking a lot about myself here. Juan Raocal, you didn't answer all of my question. You gave us your opinion on hops beer, but not on cilantro. Why are you hiding your opinion on cilantro? What are you trying to hide? I don't know what cilantro is. Should I know that? Also, I don't think the beer thing is entirely genetic. Hops are also just better if you're ever in a situation where you are expected to try a beer. Try asking for a wheat-based one. They taste less bad. The hell is cilantro? Cilantro... Coriander. Okay. So cilantro is a annual herb in a family of... okay, it's a plant. I mean, I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but... I don't know, I'm losing track of everything. Nothing new. Do you have any idea what happens, payments logistics-wise, if you need healthcare while visiting the US? I don't, so please don't get hurt or sick if you ever visit AOD or whatever. I have no idea. I believe that I'm just stuck with the bill and it sucks, and I might be able to contact the Canadian Embassy for help. That's as much as I know about that whole situation, which is not a whole lot. Whenever I am going to be heading out, I'm just gonna make sure I don't lose an arm or something, because otherwise it's going to cost me the other arm to heal it. What a funny joke! 3. Any opinions on the Dark Souls series? Either just from what you've seen of it, if anything, if you ever had any desire to try any of them. I think they're interesting to watch, but they're kind of grindy. Like, I like them philosophically. Like, I like them in theory. I like what they have going. I like what they're trying to do. I don't know if I would enjoy playing them, but I find them very enjoyable to watch by someone who knows how to play. Especially bosses. Bosses create these insanely neat ballet. Unless you're watching someone who just parries everything, in which case it gets a little bit boring a little bit fast. But I love them. I just don't know if it's a game I'll ever actually, really give a good push on my end. Doesn't help that they are consistently... no, they're not anymore. Well, they were, consistently console exclusive, but I think nowadays they're getting available on PC. I'm not actually sure. I know you don't like complaining about Star Road too much, but sometimes I don't get some decisions in those levels. What is with all the walls that are, really steeply sloped, instead of being completely vertical? So you try to run or slide on them then, instead of being able to wall jump off of them. That specifically seems really weird to me. I'm assuming that that's, just a concern for aesthetics. They want it to look diagonal, like a slope, because that's what they want going on that scene. That case, but yeah, like obviously the engine just isn't really built for certain diagonals. It's just a result of trying to do something with Mario 64 that was never really meant ever to be done. I mean, I respect it trying, and now that I'm getting used to it, like I don't think it's any that bad anymore. Or maybe it's because I'm saying this because at this point of the game, everything is a lot more straightforward in what you can climb or not. Now now that the levels are harder, I guess it doesn't make any sense. What I find more upsetting is when things are randomly slippery or not. But as is the kind of thing you learn about. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Really, really, really. The lovely penguin. Have a song that I really like. Putting things first for maximum playtime. That's the smart thing to do. My flippery-handed friend. Song that, custom music. Where does the future go? Original-ish. Oh, I know this music. It is well known to me. You can barely hear. Like, even the video itself is really low volume. I don't know why. By Wyatt Croucher. Yes. Hi-yo. I keep falling behind on watching, well, more like listening to your Patreon vids, and I feel so bad. Oh well, I'll get back to the rhythm of things eventually. Anyway, how life's treating you? My life is going fine, and I just hope that yours is going just as well. Okay, now for a more, actually less serious question. I can't not sing along with it. A great and powerful meatball grants you the power to ask people random wizard-related questions, and they will answer honestly and to the best of their abilities. What question would you ask people? Sorry, Meatball Rider, but I love all your creative and silly wizard questions. I couldn't resist. Please don't sue me. Don't worry, Meatball Rider's part of the Creative Commons. You just need to add this whole paragraph of text whenever you use them. What would I ask and they have to answer the best? Like, it would be really, really tempting to use this to just go around asking politicians and would-be politicians and rulers. Just basically ask them what the hell they're doing. What do they think they're doing? And what is their long-term personal plan? Just so people would finally get to know in an unconditional, absolute truth, impossible to spin away. For once, I'm not choosing something that's completely and absolutely selfish. I'm a little surprised by myself. Jam! What a little busy last week! A lot of busy, so I wasn't able to get my Spookoween song in. So better late than never, I suppose. And so we transition over to a different song. It's Slopsley Galaxy. Oh, it's the haunted, creepy haunted song music. Wow, suddenly when we get a space, it's really long and it's kind of weird. Like always, feel free to change it when needed. Got one question this week. A favorite kind of food aside from veggies and fruit is seafood. A good fillet of salmon, crab leg, and some prawn. A side of spinach and roasted tomatoes. That's probably my ideal plate of food. What is the ideal plate of food that would make you wanna dance? Angus meatball with tomato paste pasta, like shells, or like spaghetti-dings? Or those butterfly-shaped ones, or those wheel-shaped pastas, or maybe oh man, even better would be like long, thin, like linguine type, fresh type. Yeah, with Angus meatballs and tomato paste for it all. Maybe give me a side of sliced cucumbers with just a tiny little bit of pepper added. A nice big glass of juice. You're just gonna make my day right there and then. It's all I need. It's all I need. Duker, this week's irregularly scheduled water flame gives you his probably most well-known song featured in a little game called Castle Crashers. Man, this slow down music tone is really inspiring my tone of voice here. Waterflame Jumper is another video game too. We all love video games here on the internet. Oh boy, swears! Here's a couple common Swedish swears. Yes, you probably did pronounce them wrong. Let's give it a shot. Helvete, fan, Javlar. All religious in their origin, pretty much literally meaning hell, Satan, and devils, respectively. Yeah, so Satan is fan? Fawn? Fan? There's a lot of way you can interpret F-A-N, turns out. So how much hypothetical Petapon cash flow would we need to reach before you would start thinking about revealing your innermost secrets? At least 2,000 a month, yo. Like, I mean, I've got I'm allowed to have my privacy. Although it's kinda sad that I didn't hesitate in putting a price on said privacy. I feel dirty now. Good job. By the way, I took up on your offer about the approval delivery mechanism. I kind of forgot what that was about. Maybe following this Imgur link. Imager. That doesn't even mean anything. Oh, right, because I gave you the rights to the whole a chipmunk school days. That's right, well, that's pretty great. So let's move on, I guess, to Zachary Etier. Hey there, Raocow, I am the third worst, just like all of those moles that are the third strongest. That's an Earthbound joke. Raocow and Pyro confirmed for harshest judges. But really, I like them this time around. I did get SN9X to work after the fact. This is all just a ruse to make my level the most improved in Maggle 4. Mischief Makers was a great game to be showing, by the way. I enjoyed it. Well, I mean, you need to thank your fellow Patapons. They're the one that voted for it. I can't do any better with that poem with that one line ending it. I was prepared to end it with 2 more verses and call it a day, but yeah, it's funnier this way, and it just fits. I do plan on publishing that someday with a collection of my other poems. You gotta show me the end results, though, before once you publish it, because I think that'd be pretty rad. I kind of want to see it again. Yeah, I didn't mean that I was done entirely. You're safe now from the lyrical arrows, whatever that means. Gotta admit, they were kind of stressing me out. You know, whenever you put on a podium, no matter what it is, it's always a little bit stressful. And when it's something you're not even good at, improv comedy is, especially when you're stuck in, like, rhythm of a poem, is really hard. But it's done. I am now free to drink the juices of success straight out of the worrisome camel. Mario is missing. Oh, that's a United States song. Look how much this sounds like America. Yeah, I used that for music. I'm pretty sure famous TV theme songs are copyrighted, so I wasn't risking it. I have good questions this time. Oh, they're good, are they? Well, let me be the judge of that. How will you react if Win, Math, and a boss battle are all interacting with you in a video game at the same time? Well, I mean, my first reflex, and what you're probably expecting as an answer, is I would react probably badly. However, it's all in the execution. I can think that there is probably a way to put Win, Math, and a boss battle together and design it very well so that it's fun. It's all in the execution. 2. When you entered Maggle X2, were you really concerned about who the judges would see your level, or were you content to just let it happen? Oh, I had no concerns at all about the reception. My goal with my Maggle X2 level was just to make a stupid level that I would find silly and dumb, and just kind of go all out in the same way that with the second half, the same way I used to back in, like, What the Hell and whatnot. That was my one and only goal, and I got it. Didn't care what the judges, who they would be, and how they'd react. 3. What is your opinion on lore just happening independent of a media's creator? For example, it could be those wacky Maggle level theories and how they all tie together. I was asking you this because I looked at Twitch Plays Pokemon and their recent lore earlier, and it's impressive how tightly knit all of it is. I think that is amazing. Like a separate lore created independently from the creators, I think is fascinating and should be cultured rather than shunned. Like, you have some companies like hear about fan interpretation and they do their best to squelch them, and I think it should be embraced. Because for the most part, like, I'm gonna take an example here. I find that the fan lore around the characters in Overwatch like 500 times more interesting than the actual lore and story of Overwatch. And I think Blizzard is more or less, embracing that. I think it might be because when fans are doing stuff, well, I mean, okay, I want to say it tends to be less self-serious, but that's not always true. So again, I suppose a part of that is, once more, it kind of depends on the execution. What is my favorite season? It's autumn. Please refer to earlier in this video for my reasoning. I know that it's not your fault. People sometimes ask the same thing. 5. Was the world a mistake? Were mistakes made? Were mistakes mistakes? Was Mario is missing a mistake? The world is not a mistake. The world is a process of chaos and randomness. Were mistakes mistakes? Well, I mean, mistakes are just a thing that happen. Like, you can't have a world without mistakes, because that would imply that we're all robots just doing the same thing. So the existence of mistakes is the proof of free will. Was Mario missing a mistake? I assume so. I can't believe Mario's Missing made a whole lot of money. If they made a profit, it wasn't a mistake, technically, but I can't believe they made that much with it, right? Other than tricking people into buying because they were thinking it'd be a Mario game, which... that's just unfortunate. But if they profited, it's technically not a mistake, sadly. The previous question wasn't serious, by the way. Does that matter? What is your favorite sound/song? That's a weird one. I like the sound of falling water. I mean, I know I'm not unique in that. I know it is extremely popular calming sound, but I'm part of the majority there. Now that you've said your piece on that, here's something that your ears probably won't like. Why are you doing this? This is gonna be like Crazy Bus or something? Because I'm just gonna stop it. Mario's Missing boss battle. Oh. 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 I can't take that song seriously at all. I need a palate cleanser after that. We've heard your thoughts on the Switch. Now, what about Sony and Microsoft's new consoles? I don't know, they're like incremental, like they're just like the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, except like 0.2 or something. Like, it's basically the relationship between like iPhone 6 and iPhone 7. It's an incremental adjustment. I'm not a big fan that's now going to become a standard in consoles. However, I don't really buy consoles, so for me it doesn't change much. I just think it's too bad for consumers. Do you have a favorite tree? And if so, what is it? Do I have a favorite tree? I really like the general shape of a weeping willow, for what it's worth. 9. What is the worst pun you have heard? I wish to be able to share it, but I honestly would not remember it. I've heard a lot of bad puns in my life. I just don't remember most. Look up the syndicated newspaper comic strip, Pearls Before Swine. Most Sunday episodes are just a long-form pun, so look around that for a while, and I'm sure you'll stumble on some pretty bad ones. Rather than, providing you my own, because I just don't remember any in my memory zone. Alright, that should be enough for now. Take care, Alcal. Let me know if you need inspiration or something for a level. I can easily brainstorm with you whenever. Just give me a holler, and I'll be there in spirit now for some of the last comments. Well, yeah, we're getting there. This is going pretty fast, but at the same time, we're making the same times as normal. Fire is back. He's all, oh man, swear roads, oh man, swear road. Take 3. Oh man, swear words from around the globe. Yes, please. Here's some Finnish ones. Perkele, a man for a god of thunder. Satana, Satan. Vidu, not gonna say that. Pascha, or Jumalota. God help, really. I mean, I've obviously hyper mispronounced all of them, so it's all good. Tabby Turnip is all exclamations at the start of the comments. And then got the music link. So this one isn't all squiggly wigglies like all the others. It's a straight up link. Just, yo, check this out. PODD Umemi's theme. Strawberry Crisis. Umemi. Oh, this is like a super old school yet Toho. Oh man, we got some sense. Yeah, okay, I actually have nothing particularly interesting or meaningful to talk about this week, and I haven't really been inspired about questions for a long time. Since this is probably gonna be in the last 2 or 3 comments anyway, I'm gonna start that sentence over again. Since this is probably gonna be in the last 2 or 3 comments anyways, due to being a last minute again, I'll keep it short. What's your favorite chocolate bar? I really like Kit Kats. Like, I'd rather have dark chocolate, but if giving me, like, a chocolate bar from, like, a vending machine, Kit Kats is probably what would make me happiest. I kinda like Oreos also. I feel like I need to apologize, but I don't know why. And do you have a favorite Toho song? I mean, I'm gonna be a rube and say that I still like the general sound of Owen Was Her. I also like New Wave song a lot. But it's kind of in the general beat. A lot of the other songs are like, I feel like, no, they're good, but they're all kind of interchangeable a little bit for me. Ringo from the latest song is actually pretty unique, and I like it a lot too. But I forgot the name of it, but I'm just gonna put it out there. All the names are really weird and complicated. Cesspool of Hatred, beware of zombie quality video game rips. Silver Gunna arises again. Yeah, I was pretty sure he didn't stop for real. But I am sad about stopping this music here. It's really good, but it's 10 minutes long. Very... I really like this tune. Where's it from? What am I listening for real? For what reason? No one knows. It is a mystery. Also, Real Zamir made me happy with his high-quality custom SMW bloody stream. Great job there, guy. Anyway, I have been watching... Wow, that was cut short. Fate Zero. Lovely despair from the lovely Uro Butcher. Also, Jesus Christ, this show hates kids. Unlimited Blade works. Nice to show how screwed up Chronic Hero can be. Screwed up, okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. That was a weird one. I enjoyed the music, though. Pizza Pony, you're still around. Versus 1. Last year's picture of my spider web decoration wasn't very focused and had a tree in the way, so I shot a quick video this time. Alright, let's look at a short video that Pizza Pony made. Oh man, it's a car! Oh, wow, that's a pretty big spider web. That is pretty big. There's a hole in it, though. Spider really should work on its master craftsman a little bit. What's that on the roof? That's what I'm focusing on now. Also, you're pretty, you're courageous to just show your front lawn on the internet like that. I wouldn't dare to do that kind of thing. Yeah, you go in the spider web, and then the giant spider jumps on you and steals your candy. It is the perfect plan. And since I had my camera out, oh no, he's gonna say a thing because he complains about sounding weird. Everyone, brace yourself. My cats.
Hey, Road Cow, rate my cats.
Rate her cat.
This is my youngest cat, Tabby.
Kirby's pretty rad. Oh.
This is my middle cat, Brandy.
Brandy's pretty rad too. Pretty cute.
And this is my oldest cat, Checkers.
Checkers pretty rad. Look at Checkers. Oh, big healthy cat. You have very healthy looking cat, and they're all super adorable. What are the actual ages? I like them a lot. Is it purring? It's hard to tell. But it sure is a happy-looking guy. Or girl. I can't tell just offhand. Thanks for showing your kitties. Always makes me happy. Man, I wish I was at a place where I could have a cat. Music is a thing that exists. You can put it on the internet and people will listen and steal it. That's the end of that segment. Super Hexagon. Courtesy is the name of the song. Intro reminds me a lot of the intro of Bad Apple with instruments slightly rejiggered. Questions! Just wondering, was there any particular reason you chose 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. as the upload lines for A and B side? Basically, before I set them up as a time that just a robots makes them available, 7 a.m.'s for when I wake up, and 5:30 p.m. is for when I used to have dinner. Timed exactly for the 2 parts where I would be, myself would most likely would be watching a video. This is Bad Apple! Oh, it's a Silver Gunner! How did I not notice? I keep getting caught. Yeah, this is totally Bad Apple. So they're just basically the 2 times that I'm more likely to be watching a thing on the internet. It's kind of selfish, maybe, but, you know, not really at the same time. 2, something weird that I sometimes feel weird about. As others mentioned, they love these Patapon videos, but such few will make part of the content for them. So normally as I come up with these questions, I have just you and Alcal in mind, but sometimes I wonder if everyone else will get what I'm putting down, if it's a weird jokey question, and I don't want to feel like I'm trying to steal my spotlight from you, so what are your thoughts on that? Don't think about it too much, really. Like, the way that these things work, what I think makes these interesting and fun is the fact that there's a really big hodgepodge difference of attitudes regarding this. Like, difference level of formality and casuality and all that. Casuality? That doesn't sound like the right word, but you know what I mean. It's just, that's what makes it fun, in my opinion. So don't think about it too much. Just do you. Just be you. And that's how we got the best thing, I think. I don't know, I might be wrong, like, for sure. But, like, I don't think you need to, like, yes. I feel like I need to belabor on this a little bit, but to be perfectly honest, like, whatever I say would just be repeating generally the exact same thing again and again, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Patreon request to other Patreons. Can someone make a straw poll that has every Patapon who's posted a question, and we vote on who makes the best questions? I want to do it because I feel like I might accidentally forget to add someone. I mean, this should not be a competition. 4, are you weird? As in me? I mean, I'm not standard. Yeah, you know, I mean, according to a lot of statistics derived from reality, I don't quite align with a lot of societal preferences and just like the place where like I don't know the word I'm thinking of a very specific word that I cannot remember or catch, so I'm just kind of stuck in a weird feedback loop, but just basically, according to societal standards, yes. Are we weird? I mean, a little bit, for mostly the same reasons. Of course, at different kind of levels, because we're all different people, and I don't know most of you personally, the vast majority of you personally. So, but, I mean, if you are all willing to help a dude live off of the internet, and, a little bit, I mean, you're not quite up to societal standard, and that, to me, is a magnificent thing. I have sacrificed everything. What have you given? Not a whole lot. Make a fire. Maybe with just one N64 game, these videos might be on time again? One can only hope. Then you've got this link here, but then you have a very short question that's gonna not take long to answer. But let's go. Hitman Marrakesh, Transistor Radio Music. 2 Marios, what is this madness? Well, to be fair, Mario 64 plays so alike every other games I normally play in an A side. It does belong more in a B side than anything. Like, it's Mario in game only, in name only, and it's a Mario game, but it's not a Mario gameplay, if you get what I'm putting down. So I think it's fine. Besides, I made a poll like years ago, maybe literally years ago, where I asked, can a Mario A side and B side coexist? And although it wasn't 100% unanimous, it was like around 75% in the yes category. So, hey, I felt compelled, or I felt like it was an okay thing to do. And this is how it ends. Thank you, everyone who showed up, who wrote a question, or were just thinking positive thoughts right now. You are literally what is making this possible. I cannot thank you enough, so I try to thank you a little bit each week. Thank you for being there, and you know what? Y'all have a wonderful week. Watch out there, they're wolves. Don't get bitten, please. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. It's not a lot.